Despite speculation that he might be forced to retire if he lost his rematch with Oleksandr Usyk here on Saturday night, Anthony Joshua has defended his record as a heavyweight boxer and claimed he would determine how long he continues to compete. So did he follow his own advice? Regarding his retirement, Joshua has denied reports to that effect. Here's all we know thus far. Without further ado, let's look into the specifics on the subject. Anthony Joshua has defended his heavyweight boxing record and reiterated that he would determine how long he fights, despite accusations that he will be forced to retire if he loses his rematch with Oleksandr Usyk on Saturday night. Joshua fights Usyk to recapture the WBA, IBF, and WBO championships he lost to the Ukrainian 11 months ago in a unanimous points decision at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. In what was just his third fight at heavyweight after a period of cruiserweight supremacy, Joshua was brutally defeated by an opponent of remarkable talent and tenacity, and few expect a different conclusion when the two meet again this weekend. Some in the sport, including former world champions Carl Froch and Kell Brook, believe Joshua's loss is inevitable and will leave him with few choices in a professional career that began with his gold medal at the London Olympics nearly 10 years ago. The much-discussed all-British romance with Tyson Fury would definitely stay out of reach, partly due to Fury's retirement return. If Fury makes a return, he will almost certainly meet Usyk in a tantalizing unification showdown. Joshua is confident that he can avoid a third defeat in his 27 fights. The other is a shocking stoppage at the hands of Andy Ruiz Jr. in June 2019, and instead is aiming to become a three-time heavyweight world champion. He previously reclaimed his titles with a victory in a match with Ruiz Jr. in Riyadh 6 months after their initial fight. Moving on, more details concerning Joshua's denial on his retirement as per the agreement. In Joshua's return to Saudi Arabia, the 32-year-old has also addressed the notion that a second loss to Usyk would be detrimental to his future chances, claiming that this is unjust since it is his decision. At the end of the day, it's up to me. It's not up to anybody else what I do with my career, Joshua stated. I'm not required to do this. What motivates me to do it? It's because it's all I've ever known. This is also my 12th World Championship defense in a row. I fought for the World Championship 12 times in a row. It occurs when you confront individuals of world-class quality, you encounter people of world-class quality. I'm not going to battle guys that are below par. Eddie Hearn, promoter of Joshua, agrees with this assessment, calling Usyk, who fights here after serving in the Ukrainian army as part of the country's defense against Russia's invasion, a genius, and stressing the importance of this fact if Joshua wins again this weekend. Meanwhile, Amnesty International has said that the inclusion of the first women's fight in Saudi Arabia as part of the undercard does not imply that the event is part of the country's sports washing strategy. Ramla Ali, a British Somali model and activist, will create history when she fights Crystal Garcia Nova in the Abdullah Sports City Arena. She justified her choice despite Saudi Arabia's limitations on women's liberties and rights. Well, what are your thoughts in this matter? Please leave a comment. Following that, in a high-stakes fight, Jose Pedraza and Richard Comey fire almost 1,100 blows. Showdown in Oklahoma. On Saturday night, Jose Pedraza and Richard Comey fought to a split draw in a 10-round fight at 140 pounds in Oklahoma. Pedraza, 29-4-1, 14 KOs, won the first round 97-93, while Como, 34-1, 27 KOs, won the second round 96-94, but the third judge scored it 95-95. Comey, 35, took the early lead before Pedraza battled his way into the match. After suffering a serious cut above his left eye in the 6th round, Comey went on the defensive. Still, the judges could not separate the competitors after 10 rounds of boxing. I was a little upset because I felt I had won this battle, Comey remarked. This is a boxing match. I'm a warrior, and we fight where I come from. Meanwhile, heavyweight prospect Jared Anderson, 12-0, 12 KOs, maintained his unblemished record with a second-round knockout of Miljan the Serbian stallion Rovkanin, 24-3, 16 KOs. We don't know how close we are to a Filip Hrgović fight, Anderson added. That battle would be fantastic. Filip Hrgović, or anybody in the IBF, WBO, or WBC top 10. We're just searching for some larger names. Everyone continues requesting greater conflicts. We'd want to see some larger bouts. Moving on, former heavyweight world champion George Foreman is being sued over claims of sexual assault. Foreman, 73, has disputed the allegations since they were made public last month, and officials have directed inquiries regarding the occurrences to his previous remarks. On Wednesday, Gwen H. and Denise F. filed separate complaints in Los Angeles County Superior Court. Both women, now in their early 60s, recall seeing Foreman as youngsters since their dads were boxing partners with him. According to her complaint, Denise, a Los Angeles resident, accused Foreman of grooming her when she was 8 years old and having sexual encounters with her when she was 15, once in a San Francisco hotel room. Gwen, a Nevada resident, claims she first encountered Foreman when she was 9 years old and accused him of sexually assaulting and raping her when she was 15 and 16, including living at a Beverly Hills condominium. If she would not cooperate, she claims Foreman threatened her father's career as a boxing advisor. Foreman dismissed the claims as unfounded and unjustified. "Two ladies have attempted to extort millions of dollars from my family and me over the last 6 months," his statement said. "I don't initiate fights, but I don't avoid them either." The charges were brought in response to a California law that went into effect in 2020 and temporarily eliminated the statute of limitations that previously barred victims of childhood sexual assault from making civil claims. Both women want a jury trial and an unspecified monetary award. Up next, in a rematch, undisputed champion Devin Haney will fight Australian George Kambosos. On October 16th, the undisputed lightweight world champion Devin Haney will meet Australian George Kambosos Jr. in a rematch in Melbourne's Rod Laver Arena. In June, Haney defeated Kambosos Jr. by majority decision to add the WBA, IBF, WBO, and the ring titles to the WBC strap he already held, becoming the first undisputed champion at the weight since the four-belt era began. The 23-year-old American won the first fight easily, but claimed he expects Kambosos Jr. to put up a better fight in the rematch. "I know George is going to come to fight, and he's going to give it his all, even more than the first time," Haney, who has a 28-0 record, said during a press conference. "It will allow me to demonstrate my abilities even more, and it will be better this time." Kambosos Jr., who lost to Haney for the first time in 21 bouts, said he would retire if he did not win the rematch. "I'm 29 now, and it's do or die for me," Kambosos Jr. stated. "You will not see me back in Australia fighting local men if I don't win this fight. That is not my style. I'm going to put all I've got into the ring and my training, and God willing, I'll come out on top." The initial meeting between the two occurred in front of 41,129 spectators at Melbourne's Marvel Stadium. Still, the rematch will take place at the considerably smaller Rod Laver Arena, which has a capacity of 14,820. Finally, according to reports, ESPN's number 2 pound-for-pound fighter, Naoya Inoue, has agreed to a championship fight with Paul Butler. For the first time in his career, Inoue, the number 2 pound-for-pound fighter on ESPN, will attempt to unify all 4 belts. He holds the WBA, WBC, and IBF titles. The match, which Inoue is expected to win, will crown the 118-pound champion for the first time in 50 years. The match will be televised live on ESPN Plus in the United States on Tuesday morning. Inoue, 23-0, 20 KOs, won his 3rd bantamweight championship in June after defeating Nonito Donaire in a rematch. The first fight was named ESPN's 2019 Fight of the Year, with Inoue winning by decision despite suffering a cracked nose and damaged orbital bone. The 29-year-old 3-division champion, a unique mix of speed, power punching, and boxing knowledge, was on his way to the Hall of Fame. With the bout against Butler, the monster has the opportunity to take over the division effectively. In April, the 33-year-old Englishman earned the WBO interim title by decision against Jonas Sultan. Butler, 34-2, 15 KOs, was scheduled to face WBO champion John Riel Casimero twice, but the Filipino backed out on both occasions. Casimero's title was removed after the second delay, and Butler was upgraded to acknowledged champion by the World Boxing Organization. Butler has won 8 consecutive bouts after relinquishing the title to Emmanuel Rodriguez in 2018. Butler's only other defeat was against Solani Tete in an 8-round TKO in 2015. What are your thoughts on the subject? Please leave a remark. Well, that marks the end of our video for today. We hope you liked it. On your way out, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching.